This program is brought to you by realestate.com.au, Australia's #1 address in property. With more properties for sale than anywhere else, we make it easier.
Thanks for being with us here on Business Now. Let's take a look at the auction markets over this weekend, and around the country there'll be just under 2,500 auctions, 2,456. That's 350 more than last weekend. In Sydney, you can see there 740 auctions plus another 151 around the state. In Melbourne, 926 auctions. That's picking up another 56 auctions around Victoria. In Brisbane, 162 auctions plus another 128 around the state. In Adelaide, 150 auctions with another 18 around South Australia, and in Canberra, 93 auctions there. Well, let's go to the most viewed properties on realestate.com.au, and going to auction this week. 14 Cook Street in Lewisham in Sydney tops the list. A 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home sitting on almost 300 square metres of land. It has, as they say, well, you can see here, lots of potential. The price guide of $850,000 though will attract interest. Now, next up, Unit 2, 148 Nepean Highway, Seaford in Victoria. A 3-bedroom townhouse with the beach just across the road. A price guide of between $500,000 and $550,000. Next, 23 Mackay Street, Parkdale in Victoria. 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, which has been designed to replicate Byron Bay holiday beach vibes. It's not bad. Hardwood floors, plantation shutters, a heated pool. Next, 8 Odessa Street, Holland Park West in Queensland. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home sitting on just over 600 square metres. It has a long list of features: a swimming pool, private lift, gym, home theatre. Kind of nice. Have a look at this 6-car garage. Very fancy lights there as well. No public price guide on this one. Last, 383 Station Street, Carlton North. 4-bedroom, 1-bathroom townhouse. You can see it also is another one with lots of potential, being built as a blank canvas, maybe a bit more, which ambitious buyers can create an incredible new home. It's got a price guide of $925,000 to $1 million. But the top listing this week is 15 Abbey Ridge Road, Reedy Creek in Queensland, a 7-bedroom, 8-bathroom house on 4,500 square metres of land. Nicknamed Villa Castle. Well, you can see why. The property has a luxe Mediterranean design, clearly inspired by Greek islands such as Santorini. I kind of get that. It's also an award-winning property, taking out the Master Builder's Gold Coast House of the Year. The design fuses lime-rendered walls, timber floors and dolomite marble with contemporary finishes. Kind of nice, hey? The room has 6-star luxuries such as a high-end designer kitchen, a magnesium pool and a swim-up bar. That's cool. Plus an alfresco entertaining terrace and a built-in barbecue and coastline views. There's no public price guide on that one. Not bad, hey? Anyway, with more auction interest around the place, let's go to Anne Flaherty, economist with the REA Group. Anne, do you reckon the buyers might just get a little bit excited from what they saw in the US overnight?
I think people might have got a bit more excited for sure. It's definitely picking up in the auction market at the moment. We had a slower than usual October, but what we're now starting to see is that as we move closer to that Christmas holiday period, there are a lot of people who are looking to put their properties up for sale on the market at the moment.
It's really interesting because quite clearly, if prices start to move north, or indeed auction clearance rates really do start to pick up in a big way, it's almost running contrary to the objectives of the Reserve Bank. That's the danger signal, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I think it's also important to remember the context. So, even though we're starting to see activity pick up compared to where we were a month ago, compared to last year, it's actually so far quite a quiet spring. So I think that there's still quite a lot of nerves out there in the market, particularly around interest rates. Overwhelmingly, people expect interest rates to rise even further as we head into next year. So I think that there are some buyers and some would-be vendors who may be looking at biding their time and seeing how far they get before they actually make a move.
And I notice also that many of the latest interest rate rises will only start to hit people's accounts in the next week or so. And so again, these cumulative interest rate rises eventually have an impact. Something's got to give at some point in time. It's just right now, the buyers and sellers in property markets and also at the retail level as well have been incredibly resilient.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that we have a lot of people who are currently on fixed rates. So we saw close to 50% of loans last year went into fixed rate. And so what we're going to see is it's going to be next year that people will start rolling off those extremely low interest rates and are suddenly going to be hit with a much higher interest rate. So, there is definitely a lag there.
So I was going to ask you about the number of properties on the market right now, because one thing you and I have spoken about before is if a property doesn't sell at auction, it's on the market. It sort of catches up with all the other properties. Have you got any sense for, with more properties now hitting the market, as to whether there's demand on the other side to soak up all of these properties and even those that haven't already sold?
The demand is there, but it has definitely slowed. So when we look at new listings versus total listings, that gives us an indication of those properties that are taking a little bit longer to sell. And certainly we are seeing the average time it takes for a property to sell increase. Having said that, properties are still moving in line with historic average levels. So it's a slower market than it was a year ago, but it's still there.
It's going to be interesting to watch exactly what takes place and transpires this weekend as well. Anne Flaherty from REA Group, always great to get your input. You have a great weekend, won't you?
Thanks, you too.